Want to speak real Italian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ItalianPod101.com.
Ciao ragazzi, hi guys, I'm Desiree, and today we're gonna learn the 10 hardest words to pronounce. I hope I can manage somehow. Aiuto, help. Aiuto, help. This is a really helpful word because you can ask for help. For example, aiuto, sono chiuso dentro al bagno. Help, I'm locked inside the bathroom. You're not dying and you don't need help quickly. You just want to ask if people can help you. That would be aiutare. Puoi aiutarmi per favore? Can you help me, please? Chiacchierare, chat. Chiacchierare, chat. The most common error mistake would be chiacchierare instead of chiacchierare. Cinque, five. Cinque, five. In one hand, there are 5 fingers. Ci sono 5 dita in una mano. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ghiaccio, ice. Ghiaccio, ice. Be careful because if you don't pronounce G as a hard sound like G, it would be ghiaccio, that it's a verb and means lie down. Vuoi del ghiaccio nel tuo drink? Do you want some ice in your drink? A word that you can hear a lot, especially in summer, is ghiacciolo. It's an ice stick. I eat them a lot because it's so hot, and some ice, flavored ice, it's great. Già, already. Già, already. Già has 2 meanings. First one, already, sono già le 7. It's 7 already. To express consent would be like, oggi fa proprio caldo. Today is really hot. Già. Yeah, really, indeed. Another example would be, hai già finito? Did you finish already? Lasciare, leave. Lasciare, leave. I left my key on the table. Ho lasciato le mie chiavi sul tavolo. Yeah, another meaning would be break up. For example, I don't want to break up with my boyfriend. Non voglio lasciare il mio ragazzo. When I go jogging, I leave my wallet home. Quando vado a correre, quando vado a jogging, lascio il portafogli a casa. Quando vado a correre, lascio il portafogli a casa. Pesca, peach. Pesca, peach. Yeah, for example, I ate a peach. Ho mangiato una pesca. Il tè alla pesca è il mio preferito. Peach tea is my favorite. Pesca, fishing. Pesca, fishing. Pesca, pesca. You don't open your mouth like pesca, but pesca. And this one is the hobby you can have. For example, I really enjoy going fishing. Mi piace molto andare a pesca. So the difference would be pesca and pesca. Mangio pesce più volentieri che andare a pesca. I enjoy eating fish more than fishing. Segno, sign, mark, stain, signal. Here the difficulty is probably the sound ñ that you can practice with gnomo, for example, that it's elf, gnome. Hai lasciato il segno. You really left the mark. You really impressed them. It's something that you would say. Yeah, segno has many meanings in English. Un segno sul muro, a stain on the wall. Give me a signal, fammi un segno. Be careful not to say segno, but segno, because there's no I. And basically, in Italian, there is no word with both I and O after ñ. That was the last of our 10 hardest words to pronounce. I hope I was able to give you some advice. If you still have questions or if you still have words that you're not sure about how to pronounce, please write it down. And remember to subscribe. Ciao ciao. Bye bye. They're making a melody with bells.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Italian grammar. Word order refers to the order in which words are structured to form a sentence in a given language. Consider the English sentence, I ate an apple. But first, let's remove the article an here for simplicity. So we're just left with I ate apple. The basic word order for English is subject, verb, object, or SVO for short. If we break down the English sentence, I ate apple, we can see that the subject I is presented first, followed by the verb ate, and then finally the object apple is positioned last. This is the basic word order for sentences in English.
Now let's compare that same sentence, I ate an apple, in Italian. Io ho mangiato una mela. Like before, let's remove the article to keep it simple, so we are just left with the words. If we break down the Italian sentence, we get the subject io, meaning I, then comes the verb ho mangiato, meaning ate, and finally we have the object mela, meaning apple. The basic word order for Italian then is SVO. It's the same as English.
This means that you can convert an English sentence into Italian simply by replacing the English words with Italian words, and you'll still be understood.
Italian word order, however, is much more flexible than English. If we swapped the subject and object around, we'd get apple ate I in English, which changes the meaning of the sentence completely. In Italian, however, the core meaning of the sentence does not change. It would still essentially be I ate apple. Mela ho mangiato io.
As you can see, the word order of Italian is quite flexible. More often than not, if you wanted to say I ate an apple in Italian, you would not say
Io ho mangiato una mela.
Instead, you would more likely say ate an apple in Italian.
Ho mangiato una mela. This is because Italian is a null subject language where the word for the pronoun is omitted because it's already implied.
This is because all of the information can be derived from the way the verb is conjugated in the sentence.
For example, the verb aprire means to open. When you conjugate it, it changes according to the subject. Hai aperto la scatola means you opened the box. Hanno aperto la scatola means they opened the box. Let's take a look at another example. Tornare means to return. Siamo tornati a casa in treno means we return home by train. Sono tornata a casa in treno means I return home by train.
Can you see how the subject changes based on the way the verb is conjugated in the sentence?
Okay, let's move on. Negating a sentence in Italian is incredibly simple. All you have to do is to put the word non in front of the verb.
Let's go back to the original example, I ate an apple. The verb here is ate, or
Ho mangiato. In Italian. Ho mangiato una mela. To make this sentence negative, simply add non before the verb ho mangiato. Non ho mangiato una mela.
if it were Carla ate an apple, it would be
Carla ha mangiato una mela. Adding non before the verb would make it negative. Carla non ha mangiato una mela. Siamo tornati a casa in treno. Non siamo tornati a casa in treno. You can create any negative sentence in Italian simply by adding non before the verb.
Asking a question in Italian is even easier than making it negative. All you have to do is simply raise the pitch at the end of a sentence to turn it into a question.
Hai aperto la scatola. Hai aperto la scatola?
No rearranging of words is needed.
Hai aperto la scatola. Hai aperto la scatola?
You can create any basic yes-no questions in Italian this way.
If you want to be a little more specific, simply add the question word in front of the question. For example, perché means why. Perché hai aperto la scatola? Quando means when. Quando hai aperto la scatola? And come means how. Come hai aperto la scatola?
Now you know how to create questions in Italian. Well done! We've covered a lot of things in this lesson, so let's recap what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Italian sentences can be formed using a subject, verb, object, or SVO word order. Italian tends to omit the subject if that subject is a pronoun. You make a sentence negative by adding non before the verb. To turn a sentence into a question, simply raise your pitch at the end. And if you want to be more specific, just add a question word at the beginning of the question.
Hi guys, ciao ragazzi! In this video, you're gonna learn the 10 phrases that you never want to hear. So I hope you will never hear them. But just in case, I will tell you, so you know what to expect. Dobbiamo parlare. We need to talk. Dobbiamo parlare. We need to talk. This is really not a good phrase, because it means probably you did something wrong. So yeah, dobbiamo parlare, it's not good. Like maybe if it's your partner, maybe he wants or she wants to break up with you. Or if it's your parents and you're still a teenager, maybe they discovered something, some lies you told them. Dobbiamo parlare. Mi hai mentito. You lied to me. Or ho scoperto una cosa. I discovered something. I got to know something. I got you, basically. Dovremmo vedere altre persone. We should see other people. Dovremmo vedere altre persone. I would prefer if people told me, I want to break up. It's better than, I think we should meet someone else. Grazie per il suo curriculum. Tuttavia il posto è già stato assegnato. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled already. Grazie per il suo curriculum. Tuttavia il posto è già stato assegnato. And they really seem like sorry for you. I don't know if they really are. They at least try to be, but you can tell that they don't really care. If the first person we choose broke a leg, the second one is going to Hawaii, and the third one discovered to be rich and is now gonna party with Barack Obama, or the fourth one was, don't know, selected to be the new president of the moon, that means that probably the next are you. In any case, we're gonna let you know. That's better because at least you don't wait for ages, hoping for something. Hai messo su peso recentemente? Have you gained weight recently? Hai messo su peso recentemente? Have you gained weight recently? Yeah, I mean, people don't usually say that to you. Like, they pretend not to notice, they don't make you notice, or maybe they even tell you, oh my god, you're so skinny now. But it's not true, they just want to be nice. Hai un capello grigio. You have a gray hair. Hai un capello grigio. You have a gray hair. Actually, maybe it's hai un capello bianco, so you have a white hair, and that's worse. That means you're aging or that you're very stressed. But it's not something that people want to hear, especially women, I would say. Yeah, in Italian, if you talk about all the hair, it's capelli and it's plural. If you're just talking about one, it's capello, and yeah, you can say is. So capello è bianco, hair is bianco, is white. Non sei tu, sono io. It's not you, it's me. Non sei tu, sono io. It's not you, it's me. This is another way to break up. To say, it's not your fault, it's not about you, I am the problem. But still, I don't want to stay with you. Basically, you don't want to discuss things, so you're like, yeah, it's not you, it's me. That's it, we're done. Oggi non ho i tuoi soldi. I don't have your money today. Oggi non ho i tuoi soldi. Today, I don't have your money. Probably you don't want to ask people that have to give you money back. It's them who should say something to you. That's why they would say, he or she would say, I don't have your money today. Non ho i tuoi soldi. Oggi non ho i tuoi soldi. But let's hope they have it the next day. So you can say, it's okay, give me money when you have. Ok, dammi soldi quando li hai. Or, next time we meet, I want my money. La prossima volta che ci vediamo, voglio i miei soldi. Scusa, mi sono dimenticato. Sorry, I forgot. I always prepare a small water bottle of water, pet bottle. And yeah, put it in the fridge, I'm so happy, yeah, we'll have fresh water. And then nope, I forget. And that's just, I forgot. Okay. But it's not sorry in this case. Sei licenziato. You're fired. Sei licenziato. You're fired. Basically, if you didn't do something big, probably no one would tell you that way. They would be like, I'm sorry, we need to cut expenses, we need to be, I don't know, to be less people. Not like, you're the worst, you're gonna be fired. No. Probably you did something. You set fire to computers in the office. You, I don't know, made a pool inside the office and you were having a party. I don't know, you did something. But usually people don't go to you like, you're fired, sei licenziato. Means something big happened. Te l'avevo detto io, I told you so. Te l'avevo detto io, I told you so. You can also say just te l'avevo detto, or l'avevo detto io, or l'avevo detto. So, te and io are not really important. The important part is l'avevo detto, means told you. So, if you were having that party inside the office, and your colleague says to you, maybe it's better if you don't do that, you're gonna get fired. And then the boss comes and it's like, you're fired, sei licenziato. In that case, that colleague can say, te l'avevo detto io, I told you so. That was the last of the words that we don't want to hear. I hope you will actually never hear them. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Comment and remember to subscribe. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika. In this series, you will learn everything you need to know to get started learning Italian.
That's right, and we're here to help guide you through your journey. In this lesson, you'll learn the reasons why you should learn Italian and how to get started. There are countless reasons, but perhaps the biggest one of all is that it could actually change your life. Learning a new language unlocks new pathways that are off limits to you now. There are certain things that you simply cannot do without having the technical or cultural skills that come from learning a new language.
Like working or living in another country.
Knowing another language provides you with greater job opportunities. You have the freedom to move to another country halfway around the world and be able to earn a living, or even better yet, build a career from it, instead of just being stuck in one place. Language allows you to visit or live in places that you may never have even considered going, simply because that wasn't a possibility for you. Knowing another language simply gives you more options to choose from.
And learning a new language also helps you to be more open-minded and see the world from a new perspective.
Language and culture go hand in hand. The world is a big place, and by broadening your understanding of other cultures, it allows you to be more empathetic and understanding of the many different ways that people live their lives. With language, you're able to see and experience more, which helps you to grow as a person.
Learning a new language also improves your memory.
Several studies have consistently shown that those who study another language have improved memory, as opposed to those who didn't learn another language. Learning another language also keeps your brain healthy by significantly delaying the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia. This difference can be as much as 4 to 5 more years of quality life.
And those are just some of the reasons you should learn another language. The list just goes on and on.
Now you know the benefits of studying another language, but why should you learn Italian in particular?
Italy has a lot to offer. Landscapes, cities, ancient monuments, stunning coastlines. You'll need plenty of time to see them all. And if you learn Italian, your experience will be much more rewarding.
Italy has 51 World Heritage Sites. That's more than any other country in the world. Tourism is one of Italy's most profitable industries. Despite this, English is not widely spoken outside the main tourist centers. Rome, Venice, Florence, and other big cities are a must-visit. But if you speak Italian, your experience will be that much more authentic, and you'll be able to take trips to lesser-known cities and cultural sites.
A city like Urbino isn't a crowded tourist destination, but it's definitely unique. It's a walled city perched on a hill in a market region. It was an important Renaissance center, and the Ducal Palace is definitely worth a visit. Italian people are generally friendly, and making an effort to learn the language will significantly improve your chances of making friends.
Italy's long history is evident in the architectural styles of many buildings, churches, castles, and its art. Not to mention it's the birthplace of the Renaissance, of opera, of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Dante, and more.
Let's not forget the food. Have you ever heard of pizza, pasta, or spaghetti? Well, they are all Italian foods.
Italian cuisine is one of the most popular cuisines in the world. It's extremely rich and varies from region to region. If you know the language, you can easily read the menu and enjoy different types of Italian dishes. There's much more to discover than just pizza and pasta.
Of course, it's not all just about food. What about business opportunities?
Italy is a highly developed country with a dynamic economy. It's the world's second largest wine producer and the fourth largest manufacturing country. Italian production is renowned all around the world for its high-quality creative goods.
Major Italian industries include fashion, cars, jewelry, and of course, food. Ferrari, Prada, Gucci, and Armani are just some examples of well-known Italian brands. And Milan Fashion Week is one of the 4 leading fashion events internationally. Thousands of companies all over the world do business with Italy. So, learning Italian will open up many opportunities for you.
Okay, so there are clearly many reasons why you should learn Italian. Now, we've talked about why you should start learning a language and why you should start learning Italian, but how should the viewers get started?
Getting started is actually very simple. Just start by learning your first word in Italian and build up from there.
The good news, though, is that you already know some Italian.
Cappuccino, gelato, maestro.
These are all English words of Italian origin. The reverse also applies. Nowadays, Italian speakers use a lot of English words in everyday conversation.
Babysitter, gossip, meeting.
Many English and Italian words are derived from Latin. This means that there will be many words you'll be able to easily recognize.
Originale, turista, televisione. See, they're very similar. Now, let's teach you something useful. Grazie. This means thank you in Italian.
That's a very versatile phrase. It could be used in all types of situations, both formal and informal.
Grazie. A very common mistake many learners make when pronouncing this word is that they don't pronounce the final E clearly. Listen closely to how I pronounce this word. Grazie. Grazie.
Another aspect that can be difficult for beginners is learning how to roll the R.
Grazie.
In the next lesson, we'll give you an in-depth explanation on Italian pronunciation so that you can perfect this simple but useful phrase.
Grazie.
Well done! Now you know how to say thank you in Italian. We've covered a lot of things already, so why don't we wrap up the first lesson and recap on what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that studying another language has many benefits, such as providing new job and business opportunities. Italy has a colorful history with many things for you to see and learn. And to say thank you in Italian, it's
Grazie.
See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Bye!
Hi guys, ciao ragazzi, and welcome to the 10 phrases you always want to hear. Avevi ragione, you were right. Hey, why don't you add some salt? Perché non aggiungi del sale? I don't know. Oh, you were right, it's really tasteful. Oh, avevi ragione, è veramente buono. Ci sarà un bonus alla fine del mese. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. So you will be able to buy that dress that you really wanted, or maybe just save some money to travel. If you get a bonus at the end of the month, se hai un bonus alla fine del mese, save up money. E vinci tu, and you win. Maybe you're in a group of friends and you're discussing about what to do. After all the suggestions, you are the one who suggested the right one. So when everyone are like, yeah, let's do what you said, can be hai vinci tu, and you win. Or hai vinto tu, and you won. Hai fatto un ottimo lavoro. You did a great job. Of course, that's something that everyone would like to hear. Maybe just after some exercise, sports exercise, or school thing. Oh, you did a great job. Hai fatto un ottimo lavoro. It's something that can always apply, and yeah, you can always use it. Ottimo lavoro. Good job. Il budget è illimitato. The budget is unlimited. If you are buying something and you have an unlimited budget, well, that's amazing. You can buy everything. That's probably a dream. The budget is unlimited. Il budget è illimitato. It sounds so nice. Mi manchi. I miss you. Me means to me. So, to me, you are missing, basically. The meaning is the same, of course, But the verb mancare literally means something is missing. You can tell that to your partner, your friend, your family. Everyone would be happy to hear that, I think. Prenditi una pausa, farò io le pulizie di oggi. Take a break, I'll do the cleaning today. That's something really nice. Would it ever happen? I hope so. And yeah, let's think it will someday. Maybe it's even nicer to say prendiamoci una pausa. So let's take a break together and let's go somewhere. Let's go on vacation. Andiamo in vacanza. Sei una cuoca eccellente. You are an excellent cook. If you want to say that to a boy, it would be sei un cuoco eccellente. So eccellente stays the same, but cuoco is for boys, while cuoca is for girls. Everything was delicious, era tutto delizioso, or as kids do when they're not talking yet, this is buono, good. That was nice, good to eat. And you turn it. Stai benissimo oggi? You look great today. So if you're like different from the usual and people tell you, oh, you look great today, ah, stai benissimo oggi, that's nice. If you didn't change anything and people still tell you, you look great today, stai benissimo oggi, maybe they have something they would like to ask you or something to be forgiven for. If you want to say, you're really beautiful today, you can also say, sei bellissima oggi. Or if it's to a boy, sei bellissimo oggi. Ti ho portato qualcosa di speciale. I brought you something special. And then you start to wonder, what can it be? Cake? Maybe? That would be nice. It's I brought you something special. Can be maybe your favorite dish, your favorite sweet, your favorite cake. Or a present would be nice too. So, you answer, grazie, davvero. Oh, thank you, really. Oh, non c'era bisogno. Oh, you didn't have to. That was it for the 10 phrases you always want to hear. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you will hear them a lot. If you like to be told something else, please tell me, comment, and remember to subscribe. Ciao ciao. Bye bye. Hi guys, ciao ragazzi, sono Desiree, I'm Desiree, and today I'm gonna tell you 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Woohoo! Grazie, ma in realtà io non sono un madrelingua. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker, actually. So it probably means that someone complimented you on your Italian. Like, wow, il tuo italiano è perfetto. Wow, your Italian is perfect. Yeah, thank you, but I'm not a native speaker. Sì, grazie, ma non sono un madrelingua. If people tell you something and you answer in this way, means you have a high level, like high proficiency level of Italian. Good job. Ho capito completamente tutto quello che hai detto. I completely understood everything you said. Actually, maybe it's better to say ho capito tutto quello che hai detto. I understood everything you say. Because if you add completamente, completely, it's kind of too much. So, yeah, ho capito tutto quello che hai detto. They would be amazed. Like, wow, you're great. But then people will expect that you know everything, like really everything, and maybe use also different words. I would stay with the stay humble, like, yeah, I got the sense of that. Sì, ho capito il senso di quello che hai detto. So you can always surprise people and not make them expect that you know everything. But that's my personal tip. Ho studiato italiano per 10 anni. I've been learning Italian for 10 years. Well, that's amazing when I think that you did that for so long. 10 years is really long, but it's not really something to be proud of if you're still not able to talk a lot. So yeah, be careful with this phrase because you can amaze people because they would like admire you for how much efforts you put in your study. But yeah, if you have a high level or you feel confident in Italian or whatever language you're learning, you can say, hey, ho studiato l'italiano or some other languages per 10 anni. And that's amazing. But yeah, just be careful. Not to make the other person expect that you know everything. And then you don't. That it's completely understandable. But yeah, people would be amazed because you had such a long patience, basically. You were patient and studied so long. If you haven't been learning Italian for 10 years, but less, you just say the number and then add anni, like 2 anni, 3 anni, 4 anni. One would be anno and not anni. Or probably something that would amaze even more, it's when you say ho studiato l'italiano per neanche un anno. I've been learning Italian for not even a year and you know how to speak that. That's amazing. And yeah, people will be amazed. L'italiano è divertente e facile da imparare. Italian is fun and easy to learn. I can believe that it's fun for people to learn that, but I wouldn't say that it's easy. So if you tell a native speaker that you find it easy, I will be impressed because we have so many verbs, so many irregular verbs, and we have articles like feminine and masculine. I understand that it's really hard to understand. Like who established what's feminine and what's masculine? But that's a secret. So yeah, if you find Italian fun and easy, quindi se trovi l'italiano divertente e facile, you amazed me. Mi ci è voluto solo un anno per diventare fluente. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. That's amazing, for real. As I was saying before, I know Italian is not easy, but you know that actually, I didn't know that, I just learned that, like I was reading an article and it says that Italian is the 4th most learned language in the world. So we have English, Spanish, Chinese, and then Italian. I was really surprised about that. I don't know why so many people learn Italian. But if you find that fun and easy, you're welcome. Oltre a conoscere l'italiano, so parlare anche alcune altre lingue. Apart from knowing Italian, I can speak a few other languages. Yeah, that's great. But it always depends on, like if you can say, hey, how are you? In 20 languages, that it's amazing. But like to amaze people, you need to have a high level. So in my opinion, at least in my case, I would say that studying 2 languages at a time, it's already enough. Parlerò italiano come un madrelingua in 3 anni. I will speak Italian like a native speaker in 3 years. But if you're not that confident, maybe don't say that because people will expect you to do that. Maybe people will be like skeptical and be like, oh, really? And how are you going to do that? Tell me, you master, Italian master. If you really know that you can do that, like maybe you are going to study abroad in Italy, staying there, spending there 2 years, also maybe 1 if you studied a lot before. I'm sure you will be fluent. So you can say that, but don't use it too much. Don't be overwhelming. If you want to say something not so strong, maybe you can say vorrei parlare italiano come un madrelingua in 3 anni. I would like to speak Italian like a native speaker in 3 years. And that's more acceptable. People will like it more. So I suggest you vorrei instead of I will, instead of parlerò. Parlerò is I will speak. Vorrei, I would like to. So yeah, anyway, keep it up. Posso guardare film italiani senza sottotitoli. I can watch Italian movies without subtitles. That's amazing for real. How many times did I say amazing in this video? Anyway, well, actually, maybe it can be helpful to do that because you pay more attention on what they do and you're not like, oh, it's okay, anyway, I can read the subtitle. No, you need to focus on what they say. And especially for Italian movies, Italian movies made by Italian actors. Maybe that's also a good way to learn Italian because they use a lot of gestures and you can learn like how to say, I'm hungry. You do these on your stomach and it means I'm hungry, yeah. Or these, can we go? Yeah, so if you watch Italian movies, it's a good way to learn fun things actually and to learn Italian idiomatic expressions maybe. So yeah. That's a good phrase to amaze people, but also a good thing to do to learn actually Italian. Posso memorizzare circa 50 nuove parole italiane al giorno. I can memorize around 50 new Italian words a day. That's a lot, like 50. Whoa. No, I would never be able to. But if you can, do that. And yeah, tell that to people, but that means that like in 1 week, you will have 350 new words. Yeah, if you don't manage to memorize so many words in a day, maybe you can change the number and say, for example, posso memorizzare circa 10 nuove parole italiane al giorno. I can memorize around 10 new Italian words a day. And that's cool too. I mean, as long as you can keep it every day, it's great. I would say it's not about how many words you learn, but how many times you do that. Like, if you really manage to do that every day, you're basically done. You will manage to be fluent in no time. Keep it down, and then if you can make more, that's even great. Better, but still be humble if you manage to. Sto imparando l'italiano tutto da solo. I'm learning Italian all by myself. Wow. Again, wow. How do you learn a language by yourself? If you're not attending lessons, you can watch videos online, like you are doing now, or read books, grammar books, but also normal books, and watch movies, listen to songs. Try to speak it with person, like real people, maybe native speaker would be better, that will correct you, or even if they will not, because they're not teachers, but just people you want to talk to, like friends, at least you can see if they really understand what you want to say. And that's a good way to check the improvement you have done. That was it for the 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. I hope you get to the point where you can say one of them proudly soon, and I'm happy if I can help you just a little. So comment if you want to tell me something, and remember to subscribe. Bye bye, see you soon. Ci vediamo.
Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Italian writing. Both English and Italian use the Latin alphabet. Unlike English, however, Italian only uses a select number of letters.
The Italian alphabet has 21 letters. 5 of them are vowels and 16 are consonants. Compared to English's 26, you have 5 fewer letters to worry about.
Missing are the letters J, K, W, X, and Y. They're all considered to be foreign letters in Italian, and are only used for words borrowed from other languages.
The most common examples are jeans, password, relax, yoga, and extra.
An accent is a marker that is used to indicate some additional quality. That being said, accents aren't as intimidating as they look. They actually help you more than anything.
There are 2 types of accent used in Italian. The grave accent, which looks like a line falling from left to right, and the acute accent, which looks like a line rising from left to right.
The grave accent can only appear over vowels. Any vowel that appears at the end of a word can have a grave accent.
Città, caffè, lunedì, falò, giù.
The grave accent, then, actually takes away the ambiguity from where to place the stress. It's essentially telling you to stress this vowel.
So, whenever you see the grave accent in Italian, just stress that syllable.
If the vowel at the end is an E and it has the grave accent on top, it's indicating that we should pronounce it as an open E. And of course, we must stress the syllable.
Tè, caffè, è.
The other accent is the acute accent, and it's used to indicate that we should pronounce it as a closed E.
Perché, finché.
The acute accent can only appear over the vowel E, and only when it's at the end of a word. Vowels that are not at the end of a word are rarely marked with an accent outside of dictionaries.
When this happens, however, it's used to help the reader distinguish between 2 words which would otherwise appear the same. Ancora, ancora. Principi, principi.
Now you know the function of accents in Italian. Another important element to Italian writing is learning when to use capital letters, as they differ from English quite a bit.
Generally, words in Italian aren't capitalized nearly as much as English.
For example, days, months, and languages are capitalized in English, but not in Italian.
So we simply write lunedì, martedì, aprile, maggio, inglese, Italiano.
Capital letters are only generally used at the beginning of a sentence or with proper nouns.
A proper noun can be the name of a person, like Rita, but also the name of a place, like Venezia or Montebianco.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that the standard Italian alphabet consists of 21 letters. You also learned that the grave accent can appear over any vowel at the end of a word and is used to indicate that the syllable must be stressed. When the grave accent appears on the letter E, you must use an open pronunciation. When the acute accent is used, it'll only appear over the letter E, indicating that you must use a closed pronunciation. Finally, Italian only uses capitalization at the beginning of a sentence and with proper nouns.
Ciao, welcome to Italian Weekly Words. This is Ilaria and today's theme is food, maiale, pork. The word maiale in Italian is both for pork and for pig, the animal. Le salsicce di maiale italiane sono molto prelibate. Italian pork sausages are very delicious. And you can find any type of sausage. You can have pig meat mixed with spinach, for example, or with mozzarella cheese inside the sausage. It's very delicious. Pane, bread. Adoro il pane caldo. I love warm bread. It's so... Riso, rice. I piatti a base di riso sono comuni della cucina del Nord Italia. Rice-based dishes are common of Northern Italy cuisine. Yes, actually in Southern Italy we eat a lot of pasta, while all the risotto, risotto, right? They actually come from the north. Torta, cake. Preparo sempre una torta per il mio compleanno. I always make a cake for my birthday. Dolci, sweets. Un dolce italiano molto famoso è il tiramisù. A very famous Italian sweet is tiramisù. Do you know it? Have you ever tried it? It's so delicious, please. And it's also very simple to make. You should try. Oh, no more sweets for today. Abbiamo finito. See you next time. Ci vediamo alla prossima volta. And write down which is your favorite candy. I'll be waiting. Ciao!
Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Italian pronunciation. Italian is what is called a syllable-timed language. What this simply means is that every syllable is pronounced for roughly an equal amount of time.
Avranno. Avranno.
Notice how each syllable is pronounced for roughly the same amount of time? The first N is held for roughly the same amount of time as all the other syllables.
Avranno.
English, on the other hand, is a stress-timed language. Unstressed syllables are often shortened, while stressed syllables are pronounced longer. Opportunity. Opportunity. The stressed syllable to in opportunity is pronounced longer than all the other syllables. Listen to it again. Opportunity. Compare this once again to the syllables in Italian.
Avranno.
Even though Italian is not a stress-timed language, individual words still have primary stress.
In most Italian words, the stress falls on the second to last syllable, so you'll need to pronounce this a tiny bit longer and louder than the other syllables, but not by much. Avranno. Buongiorno.
Apart from the stressed syllable, all other syllables are pronounced for roughly an equal amount of time. One of the biggest differences between English and Italian pronunciation is that Italian is largely phonetic, meaning most words are pronounced as they are written. This makes learning Italian much simpler than learning English, for example. For the most part, English and Italian share the same consonant and vowel sounds.
I, U, B, D, F, M.
In fact, 75% of all sounds in Italian are similar to English, so most of these sounds will be familiar to you. Some sounds, however, will be quite new. The good news, though, is that these will be very limited.
E, Z, I.
Let's briefly take a look at some of the unique sounds of Italian. First, let's start with the vowels. There are 5 vowels in Italian: A, E, I, O, and U. The vowels A, I, and U will always be pronounced in the same way.
A, I, U.
These sounds should be relatively easy for you to duplicate. The vowels E and O, however, will be a little more challenging. They each have 2 variant sounds, one open version and one closed version. The open version requires you to open your mouth wide, while the closed version is pronounced more narrowly. Compare the open E followed by a closed E.
E, E. E, E.
Now the open O followed by the closed O.
O, O. O, O.
Even when there are 2 or more vowels in a row, just pronounce them separately.
Aereo.
Okay, now let's move on to the consonants. How would you pronounce this word in Italian?
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Despite not knowing Italian pronunciation, the chances are that your pronunciations of the S, P, and G consonants were spot on. Most consonants you encounter shouldn't be too difficult for you to pronounce.
Some consonants, like the rolled R sound in Italian, however, will be more challenging. Do you remember how to pronounce this word? We taught you this word in the previous lesson. It's pronounced grazie,
This word uses the rolled R sound.
grazie.
To pronounce this sound, place the tip of your tongue on the gum ridge behind your upper teeth, just like you do when you want to say the English D sound. Then relax your tongue and blow out air.
R,
Concentrate the air pressure at the tip of your tongue and gum ridge. The air will push your tongue away from the gum ridge. When this happens, try to force your tongue back into position. This should all happen very quickly.
R.
One useful trick is to flip your tongue up and back against the gum ridge the very moment you feel the air begin to push through.
R. R. Grazie. Grazie.
Well done! This is a challenging sound, so don't be too hard on yourself if you didn't get it. Another significant aspect of Italian pronunciation is the pronunciation of double consonants. Unlike English, double consonants must be pronounced clearly and held for longer periods of time in Italian. Failure to do so could result in miscommunication.
Pala. Palla.
Remember how Italian is a syllable-timed language? Imagine that you're holding that consonant sound for one extra syllable.
Palla. Palla.
Many learners do not hold the sound for long enough, so when in doubt, pronounce it a little longer than you would normally.
Okay, let's recap what we've learned in this lesson.
In this lesson, you learned that Italian is a syllable-timed language, where syllables are pronounced for roughly an equal amount of time. Italian pronunciation is very regular, so most words are pronounced as they're spelled. Collectively, nearly all sounds in Italian are identical to English, and there are only a handful of new sounds that you need to learn. And finally, double consonants are an important aspect of Italian pronunciation which you need to look out for. Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika.
In this lesson, we'll focus on teaching you the most useful Italian words and phrases for absolute beginners.
Make sure you're repeating the words out loud after I say the examples.
Are you ready? Let's get started. The best phrase to learn when studying a new language is one that expresses gratitude and appreciation. If you had to learn only a single phrase, this would be it.
We taught you this phrase in the first lesson of this series. Do you remember what it was? Grazie. It means thank you. Grazie.
Keep repeating after Marika until you get it.
Grazie.
Your turn.
Grazie.
Once more.
Grazie.
Do you remember the trilled R? We talked about it in Lesson 2. Even though it looks like the English R, the pronunciation is very different. Listen to how Marika is pronouncing this sound.
R. R.
Altogether, it's...
Grazie.
One last time.
Grazie.
The next phrase we'll teach you is perhaps the second most useful phrase of all. It's to apologize or to excuse yourself.
Mi scusi. This means excuse me or I'm sorry. Mi scusi.
Use this phrase when you want to grab a waiter's attention or when you're hustling through the busy streets of Rome.
Mi scusi.
Your turn.
Mi scusi.
Imagine you're on the street and you want to stop someone to ask them for directions. What do you say?
Mi scusi.
One last time.
Mi scusi.
Now you can say thank you, excuse me, and I'm sorry in Italian. Let's move on. Asking where something is an incredibly important and useful thing to learn. You're going to need this when asking where the bathroom, the train station, or where the hotel is. To ask where something is, just say
Dov'è?
and add the name of the place or location. If you want to ask, where is the bathroom, for example, it'd be
Dov'è il bagno?
for the train station, it'll be
Dov'è la stazione?
and so on. You can ask where anything is simply by starting with
Dov'è?
and then adding the name of the place or location. Now listen and repeat after Marika.
Dov'è?
Your turn.
Dov'è?
One last time.
Dov'è?
Okay, now let's teach you some vocabulary so that you can use it in the sentence. Here are some of the most common words you'll need to learn.
Bagno?
Bathroom.
Bagno. Dov'è il bagno?
Next,
Stazione.
station.
Stazione. Dov'è la stazione?
If you ask someone this question, they'll direct you to the closest train station. If you'd like to ask where a specific train station is, like Roma Termini Station, for example, simply place the location after station.
Stazione. Stazione Roma Termini. Dov'è la stazione Roma Termini?
Next,
Hotel.
hotel.
Hotel. Dov'è l'hotel?
For a specific hotel, do the same as before. Just place the name after hotel.
Hotel. Hotel Eden. Dov'è l'Hotel Eden?
Next,
Supermercato.
supermarket.
Supermercato. Dov'è il supermercato?
You can ask where anything is in Italian simply by saying
Dov'è?
and then adding the name of the place or location. In this final lesson, you learned how to say thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry, and to ask where something is in Italian. And in this series, we introduce you to the basics of Italian pronunciation, grammar, writing, and more. Let's conclude with some parting advice from Marika and listen to some of her tips on how to learn Italian from a native Italian perspective.
The biggest mistake I see learners make is trying to master Italian grammar before anything. While grammar is important, it's only really important at a more intermediate level. If you think about it, children learn how to speak their language well before they can actually read a grammar textbook. Your goal at this moment is to expand your vocabulary by learning words for everyday objects in Italian. You can then use those words to string them together to communicate. The best way to learn Italian, like any language, is to expose yourself to language as much as possible. In our day and age, technology allows you to immerse yourself in Italian. Watching Italian videos, reading blogs or websites in Italian, listening to podcasts, the possibilities are endless. Watching Italian movies can help, but keep in mind that most people don't talk like that in everyday conversation. Watching contemporary videos such as our videos here at ItalianPod101.com will ensure that you're learning real, applicable Italian in the fastest and most effective way.
You've reached the end of this Introduction to Italian course, but it's only the beginning of your journey to Italian fluency. Where do you go from here? Try our Italian in 3-minute series, where we teach you beginner vocab and even more useful phrases. Or check out any of our other video series. We have many different categories for you to choose from. Good luck as you continue learning Italian, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!
Bye!
Want to speak real Italian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ItalianPod101.com.
Ciao ragazzi, hi guys, I'm Desiree. Welcome to 10 ways to remember words. Associo parole nuove con parole che suonano simili nella mia lingua madre. I associate new words with words that sound similar in my native language. Okay, for example, we have with English and Italian a lot of words that are similar. For example, lingua, language, linguaggio. Cerco di usare la lingua abitualmente nel contesto della vita quotidiana. I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. Let's say you're washing the dishes and you think, oh, how do I say washing the dish in Italian? And then you start thinking about how to say that. Lavare I piatti. Just think about the things that you're doing and how you would explain them in the new language. Dico parole ad alta voce in modo che io possa davvero sentirle. I say words out loud so that I can actually hear them. This is a great thing to do. Like, my problem with English, especially in the beginning, I didn't really talk English. I didn't speak that with anyone. And that was a problem because still now, maybe if I hear a word, I know what it means. But then when I have to say that, I'm not sure about how to pronounce that. So yeah, practice to say words out loud. Guardo spesso i video in TV o su YouTube che sono stati progettati per i bambini. I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. Yeah, this is a great way because, for example, cartoons, so things that are for children, they make you understand what they're doing without saying that. Also, you should try watching something that you watched already so you can understand how to say the same thing that you already know in the new language that you're studying. I would do that. Imparo l'origine delle parole e come le diverse parole sono legate le une alle altre. I learn about the roots of words and how words are related to each other. For example, parole in Italian words and parlare, speak, it's the same root, same origin, the same radice, we would say. Parola, parlare. Io uso le ripetizioni. Leggere, scrivere e pronunciare le parole più e più volte. I use repetition, reading, writing and speaking words over and over again. Be careful with repetitions because, for example, to me, after I repeat a word a lot of time, I'm like, does this word really exist? I'm not sure anymore about the word itself. So yeah, do that, but maybe with a lot of words, not just one per time. Keep them written somewhere. So even later you can check if you know the words and actually see your improvements. Parlo il più spesso possibile con i madrelingua. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. Maybe also if they don't correct you because they're not teachers or because they just want to talk, it's still useful to see if they at least understand what you're trying to say. So don't worry about mistaking because it's okay and be careful not to switch to another language just because it's easier. Keep focused on using the new language. Provo a pensare in italiano così che diventi naturale. I try to think in Italian so it becomes natural to my thought process. I would advise you to do that at the end of the day, like trying to think in the new language about what you did today. In order to go to school, I was waiting for the bus. Per andare a scuola stavo il bus. What's waiting again? And you don't remember? You can check it, write it down, you will remember faster. Aspettare, by the way, if you want to know, stavo aspettando il pullman. Ascolto canzoni e memorizzo i testi. I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. This is a good thing to do because sometimes when you're listening to songs, maybe you don't really understand what they're saying, so it's good to search for lyrics. Try to sing along with them the next time you hear the song. So you see if you really know, if you really learned the word. Because sometimes in songs, singers use words or expressions that we don't use in daily life. Be careful about that, but still it's a great exercise. Cerco di usare la parola nuova in una frase semplice, così imparo frasi intere e non solo singole parole. I try to use the new word in a simple sentence, so I learn whole phrases and not just individual words. When you learn a word, let's say for example telephone, You can think about a phrase. I use the telephone to call my friends. Uso il telefono per chiamare i miei amici. And if you think about something in particular, like I use the telephone to call my cousin. Uso il telefono per chiamare il mio. You can search for that word too, so you will learn another new word. If you're wondering, cousin is cugino. 15 happy words. Amare, love. Amare is a verb that you can use with a lot of stuff. For example, your boyfriend or girlfriend, you love them in a romantic way. Your family, you love them. Or your friends, dogs or cats, or even food. You can just say, I love spaghetti, for example, and that's fine. Bello, beautiful. Bel bambino. Bella ragazza, what a beautiful girl. Bella giornata, what a beautiful day. And yeah, when you say just bello, it's something that you approve, you like. Like, how was your trip? Bello, it was cool, beautiful. Contento, happy. Noi siamo contenti. We are happy. Essere contento, to be happy. You can ask to a kid, for example, sei contento dei tuoi regali? Are you happy about your presents? Grande, great. Remember that grande literally means big, but in this case it's an exclamation like great, grande. Hey, I'm getting married. Great, grande. Orgoglioso, proud. I'm very proud of my children. Sono molto orgoglioso dei miei bambini. I don't have kids, but I hope I can say this someday in my life. Piacere, like. Okay, piacere as a verb means like. For example, a me piace il blu. I like blue. But when you're introducing yourself, you can say, il mio nome è Desiree, piacere. My name is Desiree, nice to meet you. Because it would be piacere di conoscerti, it's nice to meet you. Vivace, lively. That kid is really lively. Quel bambino è molto vivace. So yeah, means he's cheerful and wants to play a lot, maybe, and never asleep, probably. Yeah, also you can say about a city, it's a lively city, è una città vivace. Also a color can be vivace. È un colore molto vivace, it's a lively color. Rilassato, relaxed. Ah, sono così rilassato. Ah, I'm so relaxed. Like, I really need to take a break and go on vacation to relax. Ho proprio bisogno di prendere una pausa, andare in vacanza e rilassarmi. You can also use that as an adjective to people, like, he's a relaxed person. È una persona rilassata. Buffo, funny. Buffo, it's not the same as divertente, that is another way to say funny. For example, that movie was really fun. Quel film era molto divertente. Yeah, I would say that divertente can be used for everything, while buffo it's something more particular. Buffo is a kind of sweet way to be funny. Like, you can say that Kitty is buffo. It makes you laugh, but not like humor, but more like, oh. Energico, energetic. So someone with a lot of energies. Like, for example, if we just finished playing volleyball and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, sono così stanco. But that person goes like, hey, why don't we play football now? Ehi, perché non giochiamo a calcio ora? Questa è una persona energica. It's an energetic person. Entusiasta, excited. She was so excited about the movie. Lei era così entusiasta del film. He's really excited about his birthday and entusiasta del suo compleanno. Can be used with boys and girls without changing. It's always entusiasta. Sono entusiasta della vita. I'm excited about life. Fiducioso, hopeful. I trust people. I am a person that can be called fiduciosa. So, yeah, this adjective changes, fiducioso and fiduciosa. Sono fiducioso riguardo al futuro. I'm hopeful about future. Gentile, kind. È una persona gentile, it's a kind person. È sempre gentile con i bambini. It's always kind to kids. Oh, you can also refer about some tastes. You're eating a cake and you say, oh, that has a kind taste. It's not too strong, not too sweet maybe, not bitter. It's a kind taste. Ridere, laugh. That's the secret of life. Ridere, laugh a lot. È una persona che ride sempre. It's a person who always laughs or who loves to laugh, che ama ridere. Soddisfatto, satisfied. Sono soddisfatto dei miei risultati. I'm satisfied with my results. Sono soddisfatto della mia vita. I'm satisfied about my life. And that's, I think, the goal for everyone. So that's why this is the last of our 15 happy words. 10 Italian foods. Bagna cauda. Bagna cauda is a typical food of Piemonte. It's a dialect expression. So in Italian it would mean cauda from caldo, hot, and bagna is sauce, so hot sauce. Basically it's made with garlic, oil, and anchovies. Since it's hot, it's typical of autumn, but I would say winter, but it's a strong taste and people say that you can know if someone ate that the day before. So yeah, don't eat bagna cauda before a date. Crostata. It's basically a tart, like this big. So it's sweet and you can find it with marmalade. Recently also chocolate cream. The stripes that you put on top, they're like these, so crossed. That's why I would say it's easy to remember crostata, because it's made of crosses, basically. Lasagne. This is probably what everyone knows after pizza and spaghetti. Lasagne is made of this flat pasta. It's flat and long and large that you put at the bottom, and then you put cheese and ragu, that it's meat sauce, and then again pasta, ragu, cheese, pasta, ragu, cheese, pasta, ragu, cheese. You can go on forever if you manage to. My grandma goes on with floors like 14. I counted that once. While my mom stays with 7 at the maximum. Also, if you don't like meat or you don't want to eat that, you can just put pasta and spinach and cheese. There's a lot of things that you can do with the shape of lasagna, but it's not real lasagna. Still, lasagna is the best. Minestrone. Okay, this is basically a soup with vegetables, and it can be with pieces of vegetables. So you cut it and you put it inside water, make it boil, blah, blah, blah. Or you do that and then at the end, you chop it to make it more like a cream. As long as it's a soup and you like it, you can call it minestrone. Minestrone literally means a big minestra, because when you put one at the end of a word, it becomes bigger. And minestra is a soup. So it's a big, big, big soup. Like tavolo, table, tavolone, a big table. Orecchiette con le cime di rapa. This is a dish that is typical from South Italy. It's made with turnip, especially with the part on top of that, the green one. We have endless types of pasta, like hundreds. For example, this one, orecchiette, it's small like this, and it's not flat, okay? So the sauce can go inside. It literally means small ears. Ear is orecchio, and ette makes things smaller. Like one made things bigger, ette makes things smaller, so small ears with turnip. Panna cotta. Panna is the cream that we use. It can be sweet or salty, it depends on which one you are using, but we use the same word, that it's panna. Cotta means baked, in fact it's cooked, and you can eat that as it is or add chocolate cream, chocolate sauce, or caramel. So yeah, it's a kind of pudding, but not flavored. It's just panna, so a cream, white cream. Parmigiana. Okay, do you remember what I told you about lasagne? That you do a lot of flours, basically? It's the same, but it's not made of pasta, but eggplant. And then you put, again, tomato sauce and cheese. And this time, cheese is different because with lasagna, it's besciamella, while with parmigiana, you can use a lot of them. I would say maybe pecorino. Here too, there are a lot of types of parmigiana, but yeah, remember that parmigiana has eggplants, and a lot of times parmigiano, a name of cheese. Polenta. The The first thing that you think when you think about polenta, it's winter because it's hot and it's salty. It's it's flour made of cereals. There are a lot of types of polenta, not the polenta itself, but how you eat it. For example, polenta valdostana, so you eat polenta with cheese, or carbonara. Maybe the most famous one is called polenta concha, made with basically fat things. Tiramisu. Tiramisu, it's a dessert. What you really need to do tiramisu is mascarpone. That it's a particular cheese, sweet cheese, fat cheese, I would say. The classical one is biscuits with coffee, mascarpone, and chocolate. And that's delicious. And yeah, also sometimes people would add alcohol to have a stronger taste. Salame dolce, it's a salame, but it's sweet. So it's made of chocolate. And the white things, so the fat that you would see inside salami, is made by biscuits. You can do that with children. It's kind of fun because you smash biscuits and then put it with chocolate that was with sugar and butter. And then you shape it as a salame. And then you put it in the freezer maybe. And then you wait. And then you eat that. And it's good. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, the top 10 compliments you will always want to hear in my language. So let's start. Sei bello. You're handsome. Sei bello. You're handsome. You can actually use the female version as well. If you want to say to a girl or a woman that she's beautiful, you can say sei bella. You're beautiful. Sei un amico favoloso. You are an awesome friend. Sei un amico favoloso. You are an awesome friend. Means that you are a beautiful friend. So sei un amico favoloso if you want to compliment a friend of yours in Italian. Il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Your resume is impressive. Il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Your resume is impressive. This is actually very good when you want to talk with someone about his job and you're actually looking at the CV, you know, and you want to compliment the guy or the girl or the woman, whoever it is, you know, for his job skills. Then you say, il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Also you can say, il tuo curriculum va molto bene. Ottimo lavoro. Great job. Ottimo lavoro. Great job. Means you actually say ottimo lavoro to someone when the work, the job that he has been asking to do is just performed at the best, you know. So you can also say lavoro eccellente as ottimo lavoro. They are the same thing. So you can say ottimo lavoro or lavoro eccellente, which means like they are actually the same thing. Quella giacca sembra carina addosso a te. That jacket looks nice on you. Quella giacca sembra carina addosso a te. That jacket looks nice on you. So this is something that you want to say when someone just is dressed in a way that you like, you know. So you can also say, I like the way I like the way you are dressed up, you know, like, and you can say, mi piace come ti vesti. Mi piace come ti vesti, which is pretty similar to it. Hai buon gusto. You have a good taste. Hai buon gusto. You have a good taste. So, hai buon gusto is actually, you know, usually Italian people have good taste, you know, especially food, fashion, you know, and all this kind of thing. So, you can always say to an Italian person, hai buon gusto. They will always appreciate it. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Your smile is beautiful. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Your smile is beautiful. It's not pretty much nothing to say about this phrase. It's just something really nice to say. Your smile is beautiful. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Very good compliment. Sembri stupendo. You look gorgeous. Sembri stupendo. You look gorgeous. Okay, you might not say this to a guy, I mean, or a girl, or, you know, you might feel a bit shy and things like that. But you might think about this, you know, in that case, you say, sembri stupendo. You know, you're amazing, you look amazing, you know. You look gorgeous in this case, as a compliment, you know. Ti trovo in splendida forma. You look in good shape. Ti trovo in splendida forma. You look in good shape. Another very nice compliment to do, to say to someone. That means that, your body, your shape is okay. So, and people notice it. So if you want to say it to someone like that you haven't seen for a long time, an Italian friend of yours, you can say ti trovo in splendida forma, and you will appreciate it for sure. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. Without you, it wouldn't be the same. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. Without you, it wouldn't be the same. So this is something quite powerful to say to someone. It's more than a compliment, really. It's when you actually cannot say without the person or things like that. So it's something really, really important, and something that you might bear in mind because it's really important. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. So it's something really, really, really nice to say to someone.
Hi everybody, Marika here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Italian questions. The question for this lesson is, what's the difference between sono and sto? If you study Italian, you may often come across sentences such as sto bene, grazie, meaning I'm fine, thanks, or sono italiana, which means I'm Italian. Sono is a conjugated form of the verb essere. Sto is a conjugated form of the verb stare. Now, both Italian verbs essere and stare can be translated as to be in English, but they are used differently. Essere is a direct equivalent of to be. Generally, it expresses a condition. You can use it for lots of different things like identity, as in sono Paola, I'm Paola, profession, as in sono un insegnante, I'm a teacher, nationality, as in sono italiana, I'm Italian, physical aspects, as in sono alta, I'm tall, emotions, as in sono felice, I'm happy. On the other hand, the meaning of the verb stare depends on the context we use it in. Let's see some of the most common ones. To be, as in sto bene, I'm well. To stay, as in oggi sto a casa, I'll stay home today. To fit, as in la maglietta non mi sta, the t-shirt doesn't fit me. To stand, stare in piedi. To lie, stare sdraiato. Also, a lot of idiomatic expressions use stare instead of essere. For example, stai zitto, be quiet, stai fermo, be still, stai attento, be careful. Stare is also used with the gerund verb forms in progressive tenses. For example, sto studiando italiano means I'm studying Italian, or stavano correndo, meaning they were running. To sum it up, we could say that stare refers to something that happens, while essere refers to something that is. Here is another tip. Keep in mind that sto is commonly used with adverbs, as in sto bene, I am doing well. Sono isn't. Sono can be used only with adjectives, and in sono italiana, I am Italian.
Hi everyone! Do you know how to say I love you in Italian? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
Ti amo. Ti amo. Ti amo.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say
Ho una cotta per te. Ho una cotta per te. Ho una cotta per te.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say
Le parole non possono descrivere il mio amore per te. Le parole non possono descrivere il mio amore per te. Le parole non possono descrivere il mio amore per te.
10 phrases for surviving back to school. Something that when I used to go to school used to freak me out, you know. Of course, I mean, everyone loves holidays, so I was very scared, you know, I was a bit panicking for for the beginning of a new year, really. All the time, you know, so it's quite normal, you know. So let's start our lesson. Zaino, backpack. Zaino, backpack. Vado a scuola con lo zaino in spalla. I go to school with a backpack. Compagno di classe. Classmate. Compagno di classe. Classmate. I miei compagni di classe a volte sono dispettosi. Sometimes my classmates are annoying. I used to love my classmates. My classmates used to be my friends. But of course, I had also some people quite annoying. But anyway, my best memories from my school period are because of my classmates, really. So, compiti, homework. Compiti, homework. L'insegnante di matematica ci dà sempre molti compiti da fare a casa. The math teacher always give us too much homework. So, homeworks as tests at school are a bit annoying as well. In a way, I mean, they're really useful, you know. You can also say in Italian, i compiti non mi piacciono, or non mi piace fare i compiti, which means I don't like to do my homework. Esame, exam, esame, exam. Questo fine settimana ci prepariamo insieme per l'esame di latino. This weekend we'll prepare for the Latin exam together. I actually study Latin at school myself. It's a very interesting language, really. It's actually the base of the Italian language. The language itself, it's built in a completely different way than Italian. And also, if you study Latin, it's very useful for your logical reasoning. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting language. Pausa estiva, summer break. Pausa estiva, summer break. Non voglio studiare tutti i giorni durante la pausa estiva. I don't want to study every day during the summer break. Okay, this is quite common. I mean, it's a bit like the homework thing. Even though you have spare time and things like that, I mean, you have to do your homework because it's part of your duties to be a student, really. Scuola, school, scuola, school. Nella scuola dei miei sogni c'è spazio per tutti per studiare in biblioteca e in giardino. In my dream school, there's enough space for everybody to study in the library and outdoor. This is pretty much my dream also. I think that staying outside, you know, if you have like the possibility, you know, at your school, in your school, if you have like a piece of garden or things like that, it's very nice to get out, you know, and to teach your students, or, you know, if you're a student, in a way you can ask your teacher for one time and you can experience the beauty of a lesson outside, you know, to make lessons, I mean, not just to play. I used to like this. I used to have a teacher like that when I was in my primary school, and I really like her. Really. Studiare. To study. Studiare. To study. Ho deciso di studiare l'italiano come seconda lingua. I decided to study Italian as my second language. I'm very proud if you're doing so, really. I think that Italian is a very nice language. You can also say sto imparando l'italiano, which means I am learning Italian. È il primo giorno di lezione. It's the first day of class. È il primo giorno di lezione. It's the first day of class. Siamo nella stessa classe. We are in the same class. Siamo nella stessa classe. We are in the same class. Qual è la tua specializzazione? What's your major? Qual è la tua specializzazione? What's your major? You can also say in Italian, in che cosa ti stai specializzando? Which is pretty much the same thing.
Hi everyone! Do you know the 1,000 most useful phrases in Italian? In this lesson, you'll be able to know all of them, So sit back, relax, and have a cup of tea as you listen and learn.
Dov'è il bagno? Scusa. Grande.
Ho prenotato.
Quanto costa? Che cos'è questo?
Grazie.
Veramente?
Potrebbe farmi uno sconto? La connessione Wi-Fi è gratuita?
Potrei avere il conto? Ha dei consigli? Posso provarlo?
You just learned the 1,000 most useful phrases in Italian. And if you're interested in learning more, try learning the core 2,000 word list. With this, you'll understand 95% of the language, and best of all, this is not a joke. Check out the description below and go to ItalianPod101.com now. See you next time.
And breakup lines. I know it's a sad topic, but we're gonna do that just in case. Just don't think that you really need that. But still, breakup lines. Dobbiamo parlare. We need to talk. This is always bad. Not only for breaking up. It always can mean that something happened and we need to talk about that. But yeah, it's not something happy. Because otherwise I would say something like vorrei parlare di, I would like to talk about, for example, vorrei parlare delle vacanze, I would like to talk about vacation, or vorrei parlarti, I would like to talk to you. But dobbiamo parlare, we need to talk, is extremely extreme. Like, means prepare yourself. There was something wrong, or I discovered something. So yeah, be prepared when you hear dobbiamo parlare. We need to talk. Dovremmo iniziare a vedere altre persone. We should start seeing other people. And that means each of you is gonna see another person. Doesn't mean that you're gonna meet new friends. Nope. Would be nice, but doesn't mean that. Maybe it's not bad if you see someone else. I will not get angry. Yeah, it's kind of an indirect way. I wouldn't like that. And yeah, but probably it's just to start the discussion. So yeah, I mean, I don't judge you if you're an open couple, but I wouldn't think that the discussion would start with this phrase. È la cosa migliore. It's for the best. That sounds hypocritical in my opinion, because if I'm saying that to my boyfriend that I want to break up with, it's the best thing for me, not for you, of course, because if you want to keep this relationship, if you want to stay with someone and that someone tells you it's the best thing, it's for the best, of course you would answer who's best, because not mine if I want to stay with you. È solo che non sono pronto per questo tipo di rapporto. I'm just not ready for this kind of relationship. That sounds fake, in my opinion. But yeah, you can, like, if someone tells you that, you can be hurt because, yeah, why? Do you think it's too serious or you just want to have fun? So, well, it's still better than being told that later on, like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this thing, so I cheated on you. No, of course, it's better to know that before, but still, it's not fun to break up anyway, and I'm just not ready for this kind of relationship. È solo che non ti amo più. I just don't love you anymore. That can't be helped. Maybe people would be happier if you told them before and like, listen, there's something that is not going well, I'm not sure, but not out of the blue, I don't love you anymore. Oh, okay. It's not something that you can really answer to, it's just a fact. And yeah, this probably really means you're breaking up without explanation or stuff like, no, but we can still do that, we can still manage somehow. If people tell you I just don't love you anymore, means I don't even want to try. So yeah, that's it, basically you're done. Ho bisogno di concentrarmi sulla mia carriera. I need to focus on my career. Depending on people, they have different priorities, and yeah, you can still maybe say that you will not be an obstacle for that person's career. And yeah, maybe it's not that bad. They're just telling you hey, I want to focus on my career, so if we still want to stay together, you have to keep in mind that you are not my first priority. If for this reason they are breaking up with you, means they don't want to think about anything else, basically. So yeah, once again, done. Io non sono alla tua altezza. I'm not good enough for you. Okay, to this phrase, people can always answer, who are you to judge? I mean, I'm fine with you. Why are you saying that you're not enough? Probably because you don't want to tell me that I'm the problem and you just want to break up. So I wouldn't like that. Just explain to me or just say to me, I don't like you because this, and this, but don't say to me, I'm not enough for you, because that would be up to me to decide. Non sei tu, sono io. It's not you, it's me. You don't want to say that your partner is at fault, but you don't want to stay with him anymore. It's like saying, oh, you're perfect, so you can't even improve. There's nothing to do anymore. It's just not you, it's my problem. But I don't want to stay with you. Basically, that's the meaning. Penso che abbiamo bisogno di una pausa. I think we need a break. Pausa is pause, break. Let's maybe not talk to each other for some days, weeks. Yeah, the problem in these cases is that you don't really know how long is a break. So it's so ambiguous. Restiamo solo amici. Let's just be friends. And yeah, so if it's before being a couple, you can say, no, it's better if we're just friends. Otherwise, after being a couple with the breaking up, it's restiamo amici. But in that case, I would say there's no solo, because solo means only. So I would say that before being a couple, let's just be friends. And if it's after the breaking up, it's let's be friends. This is rimaniamo amici. And that can happen if you were friends even before being a couple. Rimaniamo solo amici. Let's just be friends. Before being a couple, let's be friends. Rimaniamo amici. After being a couple. Yeah.
Hi everybody, Marika here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Italian questions. The question for this lesson is, how are verbs conjugated? English verbs are not heavily inflected. In fact, there are just 3 endings you can add to the infinitive of regular verbs. S for the third person singular present tense, for example, plays. ing for the gerund, playing, and id for the past tense, played. Most combinations of tense, aspect, mood, and voice can be expressed using auxiliary and modal verbs. Italian, on the other hand, is a heavily inflected language. Italian verbs have lots of different endings depending on their subject, tense, and mood. The infinitive is the unconjugated form of the verb, the one you'll find in the dictionary. Italian verbs are divided into 3 main conjugation groups, according to their infinitive endings. Verbs of the first conjugation end in are, for example, parlare, meaning to speak. Verbs of the second conjugation in ere, for example, leggere, meaning to read. Verbs of the third conjugation end in ire, for example, dormire, meaning to sleep. Each group has a different and regular conjugation pattern. Even if there are a lot of irregular verbs, most Italian verbs follow one of these 3 systems of conjugation. Each conjugation pattern has different endings you'll need to add to the verb stem. To get the stem of a verb, all you have to do is take away are, ere, or ire. So the stem of parlare is parl, the stem of leggere is legge, and the stem of dormire is dorm. Verb endings are affected by mood, tense, person, number, and sometimes even gender. Let's take a look. Italian verbs have 4 finite moods. They are the indicative, to express facts, for example, io dormo, I sleep. The imperative, to give orders, for example, dormi, sleep. the subjunctive to express doubt, hope, fear, and possibility. For example, che io beva, I drink. The conditional to express an action that depends on another fact that may or may not happen. For example, io leggerei, I would read. There are also three non-finite moods, which usually have just one form. The infinitive, which is also the dictionary form. For example, parlare, to speak. The gerund for progressive tenses, for example, leggendo, reading. The participle, generally used as adjective or with the other verbs, for example, parlato, spoken. While mood shows the manner in which an action is expressed, the tense is what specifies when the action happens. The only Italian mood that has all 8 tenses in the indicative, which is also the most used mood. The only present tense is the present, io parlo, I speak. Past tenses include present perfect, io ho parlato, I have spoken. Imperfect, io parlavo, I spoke. Past perfect, io avevo parlato, I had spoken. Absolute past, io parlai, I spoke. Pre-trade perfect, io ebbi parlato, I had spoken. Future tenses are the future, io parlerò, I will speak. The future perfect, io avrò parlato, I will have spoken. The other moods only have a couple of tenses, usually present and past, except for the subjunctive, which has a few more. This looks like a lot, and it actually is one of the most challenging things, even for native speakers. But don't panic. If you get started with the regular verbs in the indicative present tense, you will soon familiarize yourself with the conjugation patterns. Pretty interesting, right? If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below. A presto! See you soon!